We usually think mental strength is about grinding harder, never crying, or always having the perfect comeback, but the reality is much quieter and, frankly, a lot more interesting. True resilience often happens in the moments nobody sees. The pauses, the silences, and the weird little habits that separate the strong from the stressed. Today, we are skipping the cliche advice like, just think positive, to dig into the subtle psychological power moves that actually build an unbreakable mind. Get ready to rethink how you handle everything from awkward silences to your own deepest beliefs. Let's dive into the 8 things mentally strong people do differently that nobody ever talks about. Number 1, they sit with discomfort instead of numbing it. Most of us feel a twinge of anxiety or sadness and immediately reach for our phones, a snack, or a distraction to make the feeling go away. But mentally strong people do something radical. They just let the feeling exist without trying to fix it immediately. It's like watching a storm pass through a valley. They observe the rain without running out to try and catch every drop. By building this tolerance for emotional static, they realize that uncomfortable feelings are temporary data points, not permanent states of being. This prevents them from making impulsive choices just to escape a momentary bad mood. Number 2, they don't explain themselves to everyone. There is a huge urge in most people to over-justify their choices, especially when saying no to an invitation or setting a boundary. Mentally strong individuals understand that no is a complete sentence, and that over-explaining often signals insecurity rather than politeness. They realize that they don't owe the world a PowerPoint presentation on why they made a life decision that only affects them. By conserving this energy, they maintain their personal power and stop seeking validation from people who might not even have their best interests at heart. Number 3, they let people be wrong without correcting them. This is a superpower that saves an incredible amount of mental bandwidth. While the ego loves to jump in and say, actually, you're wrong, the mentally strong person realizes that most arguments simply aren't worth the energy drain. They understand that correcting someone usually isn't about the truth. It's about dominance, and they don't need to dominate a conversation to feel secure. Instead, they just smile, nod, and let the other person continue down their path of error, keeping their own peace intact. Number 4, they separate their emotions from their decisions. This doesn't mean they are robots who don't feel anything. It means they consult their emotions but don't let them drive the car. When a crisis hits, they acknowledge the fear or anger, but then they step into a logic room in their mind to make the actual choice. It's the difference between sending an angry email at midnight and writing a drafted response that gets reviewed and sent calmly the next morning. This separation is the key to consistency, allowing them to execute their plans even when they don't feel like it. Number 5, they have a high tolerance for uncertainty. The human brain is wired to crave closure and predict the future, which is why the unknown feels so terrifying to most of us. Mentally strong people, however, treat uncertainty like an open map rather than a terrifying void. They don't need a guaranteed outcome to take the first step, trusting that they have the skills to handle whatever obstacles appear along the way. Instead of obsessing over what-if scenarios that haven't happened yet, they focus entirely on what is right in front of them. Number 6, they don't take credit or blame too personally. This is a fascinating balance where they avoid the trap of thinking they are gods when they succeed or total failures when they mess up. They view results as feedback on their strategy, not a verdict on their worth as a human being. When they win, they look at the team and luck involved. When they lose, they look at the process flaws rather than beating themselves up. This detachment allows them to pivot faster than anyone else because their ego isn't tied to the outcome. Number 7, they know the difference between venting and processing. Venting is often just reliving the trauma and spinning in a circle of negativity, which can actually cement the bad feelings deeper into your brain. Processing, on the other hand, is solution-oriented. It's talking about a problem to understand it, deconstruct it, and eventually file it away. Mentally strong people put a time limit on the complaining phase and quickly shift gears into, okay, what does this mean and how do we move forward? They treat their emotional energy like a budget that shouldn't be wasted on repetitive storytelling. Number 8, they regularly question their own beliefs. It takes immense mental fortitude to admit that a core belief you've held for years might actually be outdated or completely wrong. While most people look for evidence that confirms what they already think, mentally strong individuals actively hunt for information that contradicts them. They treat their worldview like software that needs constant patching and updating, rather than a sacred text that can never be changed. This intellectual humility makes them adaptable and prevents them from getting stuck in rigid, unhappy patterns. Adopting even one of these habits can completely shift how you navigate stress and conflict in your daily life. It's not about being perfect, but about being conscious of where your mental energy goes. If you found value in this list, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into psychology and self improvement.